I've done a video before on what I want to do if I want to throw something bigger than a mug size. And so here's what I did. I put those three 1.3-pound balls of clay together and then trying to get that centered. Usually I don't have too much trouble, but here I was kind of fighting with a few air bubbles, which is kind of something that can happen when you're combining the. All right, so next I like to throw the lid first. And so I throw the lid off of the hump. And this worked out so beautifully. I was so excited with how well this went. And you'll just have to see in the future what happened then. So then I can make the jar part of my lidded jar. I really need to film at a different angle there, so sorry about that. Once I get close to where I think I am, I need to measure it, and that's what I was doing earlier. Was I had some calipers, measure the lid, and I dropped the lid. I attempted to fix the lid, but I just had to make a new one. But you want to get it pretty close to the same size until you're finishing. You don't want to have the jar that's super big and then the lid is not nearly as big. It makes it much more challenging. So lots of measuring back and forth from the jar to the lid. Even though I had to remake the lid, I still wanted to make sure I had pretty close to the same size. So here's my attempt to put the lid on a bat, and I didn't think it was going to work, but it was worth a try. And it just didn't work, so I gave up and started with a new ball of clay. I don't know what it is about throwing lids, but I absolutely love throwing lids. So this is kind of just fun for me. I could throw lids left and right. I should start making some lids for mugs, shouldn't I? Now, I want to have a really big, I guess if you're throwing it upside down, a foot when you're throwing the lid, because then that can be your knob. You can attach the knob at a later date or a later time when it's a little more leather hard, but I really like doing it this way. I had to go get my torch, so sorry about that. It needed to be drier so that the lid and the jar itself did not stick together, and this was kind of risky. I knew that was going to be hot, and it fit. Yay! And now just start to trim it. I want to have the lid roughly the same size. You don't have to. You can make the lid however you wish, but I kind of like it to look like it's very cohesive, just all in one. Trying to find the right shape that I want for my knob. And I kind of decided that this was too tall after fidgeting with it for so long. I was like, nah, it's just too tall. I don't like it. So I did take that top part off, and it looked a lot better, I felt. So after getting the knob exactly how I wanted, I made sure that they were all smooth again, except this time they were too smooth and stuck together. So I had to get them drier, but it still was sticking pretty good. So I took the needle tool and ran it across around where the line was. I could see it, but just barely, and it worked. I did miss a little, so I had to fix that a little, but beautiful lidded jar.